let's talk about some exterior options. I really personally don't like the looks of a basic Cayenne. They look a little pedestrian with all that black plastic on it. Kind of looks cheap, honestly. And so one of the things that I think is great is Porsche offers the Sport Design Package, which is kind of like the GTS look of the previous gens. Basically, you're going to take all that black plastic and paint it, and then you get these extended wheel arches. You also get these larger opening front grills, giving it the more Porsche turbo style. And in the back, the bumper wraps around, fully painted around those exhausts. I think it looks really nice. You have the option of getting gloss black trim pieces or carbon fiber. We went with the gloss black. Now, although I say I don't like plastic so much, we did leave the plastic at the bottom of the mirrors. I think it's important to create a little bit of separation there. Full body color would have looked okay too, but I like it that way. Also, we went with the black gloss trim around the windows. That speaks sporty, right? The silver, nah, not so much. The windows are tinted from the factory in the rear, but we did add tint up front. That's XPEL ceramic tint. And we also had XPEL put all over the front and the mirrors, as well as behind the rear wheels and the loading area. I was really impressed that Porsche automatically included PPF in the door cups, as well as on the edges of the doors. Good job, Porsche. Obviously, these wheels stand out, and these are really important to me. I love Porsche's GT wheels, but these are not original Porsche wheels. These are from Forged Performance, and I love them so much, and I loved ordering from them so much. I'm gonna have a whole separate video on their wheels. They not only do Cayenne and Macan wheels, but they do wheels for other cars as well. So why did I go aftermarket? Well, because if you wanted the GT wheels on your Cayenne, when you order it, you're forced into options that my wife and I just didn't want, like the carbon fiber lightweight roof. That means no glass sunroof. We wanted that. Fabric seat inserts, which means no ventilated seats. And the Alcantara wheel, well, I've got that on the GT4, and it's kind of a pain to keep up with. So these are just as good to me, and they're about a quarter of the price if I would have just purchased them directly from Porsche after building the car. A really important spec is that you want the air suspension. The new two-chamber air suspension has been applauded by most car reviewers. It really makes this car great, and without it, I'm sure it's not as much fun. You can actually raise and lower the ride height, and you definitely feel the difference in the driving dynamics when you make those changes. And so now maybe I won't be so tempted to lower this car. I might get some lowering links that drop it another inch, but I don't know. This is already looking pretty good. This is in its lowest state. I also blacked out the E-Hybrid badges just to keep that clean, and eventually we'll probably get the side marker blacked out in some way. All right, how about here in the rear? One of the things we did was we did not do the Cayenne model designation on the back. It just keeps it looking nice and clean. I went with silver Porsche here. I did the same thing on the GT4. Something about it just sticking out is cool. Even though it doesn't quite match the other black badging, I could always change that though. We went for the sport exhaust tips in bronze. Don't let the bronze thing scare you. It just helps make them look a little darker, not so bright with the silver finish. The bronze isn't even that noticeable. Lastly, back here, I did go with a tow hitch. There's some part of me that dreams maybe I will tow my GT4 to the track one day, even though I don't have a trailer or a place to keep one, but it's nice to know that I could. Let's go check out the interior options now. The interior of the car is great, but I gotta tell you, I don't understand why Porsche even thinks about offering a $100,000+ car with plastics and rubber, and that's what you're gonna get. So I'm gonna tell you, if you're gonna spec a Porsche, start right off the bat with the base price plus 3,000 or 4,000 to get at least the basic leather package, because you are inside the car more than anything. You're touching the inside of the car. You want those surfaces really nice. And so we did spec the leather package. I think it was like $3,400. It's basic though. It's all black. We like it like that. My wife wasn't interested in deviated stitching, extended leather, or various colors. All those things are going to cost you a bit more. You could push that up to say $10,000 if you really wanted to spec it out. As far as the seats go, we went with the 14-way comfort seats. They were part of the premium package. I sat in both the 14-way and the 18-way. I liked them both, but I don't need adjustable bolsters. I'm not carving canyons in here. Remember, I've got a GT4 for that. These are perfectly nice. They got memory settings. That's important since we'll both be driving the car. The interior accents, that's a big deal here. We went with the neodyme and satin or matte carbon fiber trim. First of all, like I said, carbon fiber is not usually my thing, but this stuff looks really good. It's that satin finish like the RS cars have, plus it has a little bit of neodyme thread in it. Very cool. And neodyme, I'm still a little scared of because it reminds me of the gold packages back in the 90s with, you know, Toyotas and Lexuses and Mercedes, and that went out of style real quick. But I think neodyme has got a pretty good legacy now with Porsche, and I don't think it's ever going to be terrible, but I'm getting used to it. So we picked that, and that gives you all this nice trim. It gives you here on the door panels and on the steering wheel. But we also chose the extra option for neodyme accents. You can also get them in silver. I highly recommend it. It's things like here, around the handles and here, and in the door panels. I think it also adds it here around the cup holders. It kind of cuts up all this black leather, especially in our all black car, and it helps create just a little more of fine touches, giving it a more complete look. Like I said, we got that premium package. Not only did that give us the seats ventilated and heated up front, it also gives us heated seats in the rear, as well as 4-zone climate control, and it gave us those HD matrix headlights up front. It was a good deal, and it made choosing InnoDrive cheaper. InnoDrive is their self-driving sort of thing, right? Adaptive cruise, it maintains the lane, things like that. So getting that package and the InnoDrive was a really good price option. There are no packages with Porsches except for a few things like that, and then they also have a technology package, and it just kind of groups things and gives it to you a little cheaper. All the Cayennes come with a Sport Chrono package, I believe. This one did, and you have the option of getting the classic clock, or we got a compass. I just really, the geek in me loves that, you know, it's a Cayenne, you're supposed to be adventuring, so a compass is a really cool thing, and not only does it have a clock, but the pilot in me really loves that it has an altimeter, and I always like to see, hey, what's my elevation right now? Just a really cool touch, and you still get like launch control and lap timing, and you can use the Track Precision app, although I haven't got it to work on this car yet. There is a lot of gloss black in this interior. I ended up getting paint protection film on some of it to minimize scratching. We did not opt for the extra screen for the passenger. My wife didn't seem to care about that, even though she likes to watch TV on road trips. Oh well. As I said, we got the big glass roof. We really love this. It comes with UV protection from Porsche, but we also added another layer of clear XPEL ceramic tint on there. And now we never close the shade because it's enough protection that we don't feel like we're getting burned by the sun, and it just makes the whole car feel so open. It's really nice. In the back, we went with the 2+1 seating. I don't know why some Cayennes have no middle seat. They just have a kind of a useless tray there. I don't get it. So at least we got space for 5, even though I pity the person that has to sit in that 5th seat. I love that we can get the GT steering wheel in this car. This wheel is great. Same as the GT4, but this one's got the multifunction buttons, and it's just beautiful. I love the way they have these sort of floating button design here. Plus the neodyme accents, it's heated, really nice. Oh, and one more thing, that premium package, that also gives you the Bose stereo. I think that's a minimum that you should be picking up. Another price you just need to plan on, or you can opt for the $7,000 Burmester stereo. We didn't need that. This Bose sounds pretty good. There's a subwoofer in the trunk under the rear tray. Other than that, we didn't really need any other options. You know, this car has the option for rear wheel steering, Porsche torque vectoring, and electric sway bars that keep this car super flat in the turns. But again, I'm not carving corners in this car, so it just wasn't necessary. And my wife was like, that's definitely an option I don't want to pay for. I get it. So were there any options that we just regretted getting or regretted not getting? Well, number one, we did have an option that never made it in the car for some reason. We opted for the Porsche dash cam. I don't know why it didn't show up in there. A little disappointing. It would have been all pre-wired and, you know, part of Porsche warranty, but it wasn't the greatest dash cam. I know that. So we'll have to go with something else. So that's a regret, not regret. I do regret not getting the calipers painted in black. That was the only option on the base model. We couldn't get red, but you could get black. I misunderstood what kind of calipers we'd be getting. These look okay right now, but I think over time they're gonna look like crap because they're not really sealed off with a nice glossy paint, and they're gonna get dirty easy. So I may end up having to paint them at some point. So I do wish we'd have done that, but it would have been like 900 bucks, but it would have been nice. The InnoDrive, we don't regret it, but it is a little disappointing. I thought Porsche would have done better with some self-driving things, but you know, it does okay, but you gotta keep an eye on it like many cars, and there are plenty of functionality that it doesn't have that maybe other manufacturers might have, especially Tesla. That is really impressive what they're doing. Lastly, I would have loved that sports exhaust, but again, you know, 3,200 bucks, my wife was not interested in paying for noise in the car because this V6 is pretty numb, quiet, you know, but at the same time, it's nice. This is a cruiser. It is quiet in the cabin, especially in electric mode. All right, so that's it for the introduction to our Cayenne. I hope you found it interesting. If you want to see our full build code, I'll have that down below. You can go to Porsche and customize your own Cayenne, and I'll have our window sticker showing everything there if you're interested. But if you're a future Cayenne owner or current Cayenne owner, please consider subscribing, hitting the bell to be notified of future content. I'm gonna have that video on the Forged Performance wheels, and of course, the full review of this car once I've fully broken it in. So you guys, thanks so much for watching the Jet Fuel Only channel. We'll see you next time.